This is the last of 3 videos about lesser known true wireless IEMs. And in this video, we're going to be taking a closer look at the Final Audio ZE8000. Now, I have used these in my apartment in Berlin, in the street in Berlin, on the plane from Berlin to Lisbon, and also here in my apartment in Lisbon. And I've looked at the feature set, the app, the comfort, the talents or not with phone calls, and sound quality with music. And at the end of it all, I hope to be able to answer the question, who is the Final Audio ZE8000 for?
This video is brought to you by Roon 2.0, the revolutionary music player designed for true music fanatics. Click to roonlabs.com for more information.
At $350 a pair, the ZE8000 is the most expensive true wireless IEM that we're looking at in this series of videos. And that long stem on the earpiece makes the Final Audio IEM, I think, the most striking / unusual looking of the 3 that we've looked at. On advanced codec support, we get AAC for iPhones and then aptX and aptX Adaptive. This is the only one I think that has aptX Adaptive. But as we know, well, or rather, as per my experience, the hardware inside the earphone matters more than the codec in play. And inside each ZE8000 earpiece, we get a 13mm equivalent, I'm not quite sure what equivalent means, a 13mm equivalent magnesium aluminium dynamic driver dome with a silicon surround. And 13mm inside an IEM is pretty damn large. And perhaps that's why there's not a lot of room for batteries inside these IEMs, even though the earpieces are quite large. We only get 5 hours tops, and I usually found that I only got 4 hours tops from a single charge. We get a maximum of 15 hours from the case. The case is a slide open case, not a flip top. And this is a bigger case. It feels, yeah, the lid feels a bit flimsy sometimes. I don't love it. There's a lot of air inside the case. It just feels a bit weak. And I should also mention that this case has no wireless charging capabilities. It's USB-C recharge only. Now, unexpectedly, the ZE8000 are not difficult to find a good ear seal. The trick for me is to put them in and then twist them upwards. And they fit just nicely. They stay in place without any problems whatsoever. Also unexpected. However, generally, after about an hour or 2, I do find them a little bit tiring to wear. Final's app, like the Soundcore app, is superb. It's nicely polished. It doesn't come with any gotchas whatsoever. However, it should be pointed out that there are only 4 bands to the EQ inside the app. And whilst the active noise cancellation circuit inside the ZE8000 is okay, it can't compete with the Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless 3 and certainly not the Apple AirPods Pro version 2. Although the wind cut mode is excellent. It really does do what it says on the tin. I think it's the only IEM of the 3 that we've considered that has wind reduction. It's really good, apart from with phone calls. It doesn't do a damn thing with phone calls. So I would say that these Final True Wireless are somewhere between the Campfire and the Soundcore when it comes to one's ability to have a decent phone call with wind and or traffic noise in the background. Not as good as the Liberty 4, but definitely better than the Orbit. Inside the app is something called 8K sound. To be honest, when I engaged it, I really had to strain to hear the differences between it being off and on. But it's there if you want it. I think it's there to basically improve the resolution of these earphones. But these earphones are already extremely detailed in their presentation of music. I've been listening to a lot of Fila Brasilia recently, and the ZE8000 really bring out everything inside the strum of a guitar, and they're really good with separation as well. So they really clear space around synthesizer fill sounds that I hear on those Fila Brasilia records. I'm thinking of Power Clown and Main That Tune. It should be noted, however, that even though the final audio IEMs are more detailed than the Campfire Orbit, they are not as natural sounding. And I'm starting to come to the conclusion that basically, if an earphone features active noise cancellation smarts, it adds some kind of processing or processed vibe to the sound quality that comes out of the earphone. So it's technically very impressive, but it doesn't always sound as natural as it, well, as we know, as it can do from the Campfire Orbit. And the top end on the ZE8000 is much smoother and less in your face than the Liberty 4. Instead, the final audio IEMs impress with wonderfully intricate and very delicate microdynamics. And in that respect, I think they're very Japanese in that they really do sort of promote the finesse and the finer points, but just deliver them in such a beautiful way. Now, the low end here is very nicely judged indeed. I complained that the Liberty 4 don't give us much in the way of bass textures, and they really don't, especially when we compare them to the Campfire Orbit. And the ZE8000 are very much like the Campfire Orbit when we get a good seal, but we get a good seal all the time with the ZE8000. And the bass is just nicely present. It's weighty, but it's not overbearing, and it doesn't threaten to sort of bloom out of control as it does with the Soundcore. So, who are the final audio ZE8000 really for? Well, they're for somebody who wants a very, very detailed sound from their true wireless IEM. And they're for somebody who really appreciates microdynamic flicker being delivered in a very delicate and finessed way. They're also for somebody who wants active noise cancellation, even if they can live with the compromise that it's not to Sennheiser or Apple level. And they're also for somebody who appreciates having a nicely polished app with many features and, yeah, no hiccups at all. So the final ZE8000 are for somebody who wants a real all-rounder of a true wireless IEM, without any catches or niggles or anything that I could really poke a stick at and go, no, I don't like that. Perhaps the only thing I really don't like about this IEM is the slide open case and how large it is. That's probably it. Obviously the price is also up there. So I think this is for somebody who's got the budget to spend and for somebody who likes their hardware to look a little bit different. Anyway, if you found this video either entertaining or informative or a bit of both, then please consider giving it a like down below. If you like my attitude towards true wireless IEMs and effectively spreading out my investigation. This initially was planned as a single video, but I thought no one's going to watch a 35-minute video about lesser known true wireless IEMs, which is why I've broken it up into 3 separate videos. So if you appreciate the fact that I've broken this up into more bite-size friendly pieces, then please consider subscribing to this channel. And as always, thank you ever so much for watching, but please know this, there will be a follow-up video where I look at all 3 IEMs, I guess with a helicopter view. I take an overview. Maybe I'll take some questions from the comment section below, but there's a catch. This video will only be appearing on Patreon. I'll put a link in the description box below to my Patreon, so you can join that. You can ask a question underneath any of these 3 videos because they're on Patreon as well, and I'll tackle those in my overview video. So yeah, I hope you will consider joining me over there.